What types of commercial properties do investors seem most drawn to and why?
So, good question. I'll throw out maybe just I guess a few things that we're focusing on a little bit more in the post-pandemic world. Two of the ones that we really like are self-storage and industrial warehouse space. Those were certainly some investments that we really liked before the pandemic, but in the post-pandemic world, it just became so much more pronounced that self-storage and industrial were just two places that we really need to be. Sometimes I call them bomb-proof. If you're working with really good sponsors who understand supply and demand, that's one of the biggies right there. You got to make sure that you're going into the right area. But we really like self-storage conversions. So we have some sponsors we work with there. I'm not a big fan of new development, but I really like the conversions. And then obviously on the industrial warehouse space, with the Amazon effect and with e-commerce and really that last mile, the infill and the last mile, we're really, that's kind of getting niched down inside the bigger umbrella, but we really like that. A couple things that, multifamily and also I'll say senior housing are two that we really love, but they're different now. So you really have to, if you're in those spaces, with multifamily, there's been some shifts there. So, we still are going to have some shakeout with, what's happening. Obviously, this is evergreen or maybe it's not, but, as we're recording this today, we're going into the winter months and we're starting to see more states locked down, and you're probably going to have more economic stimulus to renters and to small businesses. So, definitely think that's, the renters are going to have some protection against eviction. And so that could have a negative effect in some markets and some multifamily projects. And, conversely with senior living, I mean, we're big fan of that space and looking at the silver tsunami and the macroeconomics of that space. You can't deny that. However, now we're looking at, the potential negative effects of the coronavirus situation there, and that, senior living spaces are more susceptible and, potentially more likely to have, deaths and lawsuits. And, there's just some other factors there that we didn't appreciate before the pandemic. So, you definitely have to look at those closely.
Right, sure. This content was created by commercialrealestate.com. Access our community, investment databases, training, and live events by visiting www.commercialrealestate.com.